Now students, in this video you will be having the answers for the unit 1 questions. First question is, what is object oriented programming? Name two object oriented programming languages. So object oriented programming is an approach of programming that is based upon object oriented programming concepts. OOP concepts are as follows: encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. And it is a paradigm or model which is based upon the objects which are created from the class. Two OOP languages are C++ and Java. Whenever I write this word OOP, so that is a short form of object oriented programming. Next question, question number 2. Name four basic principles of object oriented programming. So as we have written in the previous question, same concepts are going to be there. Four basic object oriented programming principles are as follows: encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. Now third question, why do we prefer object oriented programming approach or object oriented approach in complex programming? Explain. So why do we prefer that? Object oriented approach is preferred in complex programming due to the following reasons. So first is data is secured. Everybody knows, because we use the private keyword for the data. So data is safe from the outer access, and basically there is a restriction, means data can be accessed through the functions or member functions of the class. No direct access is there, so that is restricted that way. Second is data cannot be mishandled, so that is also connected with that. The data is safe. Third, error detection and correction is easier, because modularity is there. We divide big tasks into smaller tasks in the form of functions, so it's quite easy to detect the error and it's easy to correct that as well. Now the fourth reason, writing code for complex program is easier, because we have this concept of functions which are operating upon the data, so everything is quite well organized. Writing code for complex programs is easier. Now fourth question, what is meant by a base class and a derived class? So for this question you need to think about inheritance. What is inheritance? In the inheritance we create a new class from the already existing class. So two things are involved: a class which has been inherited, so that is basically the parent class or base class or the super class. So you will write, in the process of inheritance, answer will be, in the process of inheritance the class that is inherited is known as the base class. Two other names, as I've already told you, that base class is also known as the super class or the parent class. And the class that inherits from this base class, and it is known as the derived class. So it can be called derived class or the child class or the subclass. Now question number 5. Mention two limitations of the procedure oriented programming approach. So as you already know about it, that procedural oriented programming, basically the basic unit or the most important unit over there is the function or the procedure. So a big task is divided into small modules, or which we call functions or procedure. So it's a good programming practice, but still what was missing there, that is what we are going to discuss just now. Two limitations of procedural oriented programming are: first thing, simulation is not possible, as data members and member methods cannot be encapsulated together. Students, when I say word simulation, simulation simply means that to create model something that exists in the real world, to create a model of something that exists in the real world. That is only possible when we are able to combine the attributes and the behavior of that entity together, then only it is possible. So that facility was not there with the procedural oriented programming. So there is the disadvantage with the procedure oriented programming. And we all know in the object oriented encapsulation is possible. So because of that, simulation is also possible. So we'll write simulation is not possible as data member and member methods cannot be encapsulated together. Second, reusability is not possible. Means reusability in true sense means, like in object oriented, we are able to create a new type from an existing type or a new class from an existing class. So that is not possible with the procedure oriented programming. So that is a limitation. One more, reusability is not possible, and that is why designing complex system takes more time. What is meant by encapsulation? Again, the same thing, the process of wrapping up of attributes or data and behavior of function into a single unit or class is called encapsulation. Define the following with an example each. First is inheritance A, B is polymorphism. So inheritance you are already aware of. Inheritance allows a class to use the property and methods of another class. Means whatever is in one class can be made available to another class. In other words, the derived class inherits the states and the behavior. Here the word states means data members and behavior means functions from the base class. The derived class is also known as subclass and the base class is also known as superclass. Or we can put it that way, inheritance is the process by which one object acquires the properties of another object. So any of these things you may write as the answer. All things also can be written, whatever I have given till now. Now technical example, deriving a class from an existing class. Real world example. To understand it, we can take the example of a vehicle. Every vehicle has common attributes, wheel and handle, and behavior, start, stop and move. So we can create two or more new classes, two-wheeler and four-wheeler classes, with features and behavior from the vehicle class and their own new features and behavior. What I want to clarify here, that whenever you derive a new class from an existing one, so new class will also be having its own features. So here, if you look at a scooter or a car or a truck, so they all are basically vehicle. So that means they have inherited the properties and behavior of the vehicle class. That's why they are all vehicles. So I don't have to create something from the scratch if I want to manufacture a vehicle, like I've told you, car, scooter, bike or a truck. So that is the power of inheritance. Now these classes are inherited from the class vehicle. Class four-wheeler can be inherited by another class called car. So we can observe reusability in this example, as every new class is a vehicle. Now polymorphism. The term polymorphism can be broken into two terms, poly which means many and morph which means form. Polymorphism is all about one thing in many form. When a message is processed in more than one form, it is called polymorphism. So you can just write this line, it's good enough. Now example, technical example, function overloading and constructor overloading. Real world example, if there is a cat, dog and a human being and they are given the same instruction to look there, all the entities are able to see if there is light, but when there is dark, the only cat is able to see, because only cat can see through the dark. So we observe here the entities are same, instructions are same, but the response is different. Now question number 8. In what way is data hiding related to data abstraction? It's a very good question, and very few people can answer it properly. And whatever students I am giving you in this answer It is perfect, so no need to copy it from some other website or anywhere. I've gone through lots of stuff just to answer this question, because many websites have put the wrong answers. They don't have any valid, solid basis for what they are talking about. But here, a perfect piece of information is there for you. First thing, I have to start with the abstraction. Abstraction is all about hiding the complexity and revealing essential features. And we can say that it talks about what is implemented and not how it is being implemented. Like in encapsulation, I have given you the example of the mobile phone. When you go to buy a mobile, they always tell you the important functionalities and important details of the phone. And but if you want to know that how it has been implemented, so it will not be revealed to you because you are a user. So that background detail is not available for you. So it is all about the what is available, not how it is there. Implementation is done through the function definition, and that is inside the class. Encapsulation is the reason behind it. After that, data hiding. Data hiding restricts the access to the data in class by making data member private, which makes data safe. That we all know. Now, this private data can only be accessed by the member function or through the member function or the behavior of the class. This is done in the class, just like abstraction. It is also in the class. So here, this is also in the class. And that class is the result of encapsulation. So this is the only thing which is common between the data abstraction and the data hiding. So you can easily say that on the basis of the above detail, we can say that encapsulation is the only connection between the data hiding and abstraction. Nothing else. Now question number 9, give an example to explain data abstraction. Data abstraction, it is all about hiding the complexity. It's an act of representing essential features without including the background detail. In Java programming, there are two concepts, function overloading and the constructor overloading, which are based upon the data abstraction. Example, we all know that how to use a mobile, but we are not told about how various components are organized in it and what is the inner mechanism of the mobile, because that is not required for using a mobile. Question number 10, what is meant by data hiding? Data hiding is all about restricting the direct access to the data member of the class by making it private. As a result, the object can not access the data members directly. An object can access data members only through the member functions of the class. So data members can be accessed through the member functions, means member functions kind of interface or a channel through which you can access the data, which is private. Okay, now so data hiding makes our data safe. Question number 11, you can see the picture that two capsules are visible where inside that variable and the methods have been kept. So encapsulation, definitely it is encapsulation because we are wrapping up the data member or the variables here and the methods or the functions, and they have been grouped to form a class. So that is encapsulation. B, that is you can see in the picture that withdrawing money from the ATM. So you know how to use the ATM, what it is doing its job, but how it is doing, that is not clear to us. So that background detail is hidden. So definitely this is abstraction. Abstraction is implemented here as the money is being withdrawn from the ATM, but how the ATM works is hidden from us. So abstraction is all about hiding the complexity. So I think all the concepts are clear to you. Thanks for watching it.